This would be, what, lesson 3? Question number 4, find the value for n and s. You want to consider your 3 possible shortcuts: angle, angle, side, angle, side. Some of you are still maybe not 100% certain what each of these means, but we want to get there so that you're solid on this. But just by inspection, I see one pair of angles here, so I could say check, right? So that kind of, at this point, I have a variable for n and s, so side, side, side is out. Okay. Do I have both of the sides around that angle in both triangles to be able to compare them? The answer to that is no. N is a problem, right? And so is s. So I have to take side, angle, side out of the mix here. But I do remember these 2 angles have a special relationship. Anybody remember what those are? Rhymes with schmertical. Vertical angles, yeah, vertical angles. Okay, so now I know that these 2 triangles are similar by angle-angle similarity. Now I just have to be able to recognize what is similar to what. Well, 63 corresponds to S because they're both between the green and the blue angle. I can isolate that. What would 45 correspond to? 30, good. And then that puts N and 36 as a corresponding pair of sides. So I'm going to write out all the sides in the left triangle. So that's N, that's 45, that's 63. And then I'm going to write out my triple proportion. I think S corresponds to 63, 30 corresponds to 40, and 36 corresponds to N. Should I go further? John? Yes or no? That's good. Anybody want me to go further? I will, if you need it. Cross multiply. To find S, I would use these 2 here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, S comes out to be 42. I don't want to do the calculation on it. But I would just cross multiply and then divide. Okay. And then same thing over here. If I were to cross multiply this, I think N comes out to be 48. Okay, here we go. I want to find X and Y and H in the following triangle, and there's a bunch of overlapping triangles that are going on here. This is a right angle. I'm going to mark these angles like this. And then Miss Ospey, will you drag that over here? That triangle. This triangle, just drag it over this way. And then could you group and enlarge, if possible? Okay, enlarge. Perfect. Perfect. That's it. Awesome. So that is TRM. Okay. Now I'm going to do this small triangle right here. And what you may or may not notice is that this angle right here is the same angle that I saw right there. Okay, could you drag and enlarge that one too? Perfect. Okay. So here we go from there. This is side H, this is side X, this is 32. This is 60, this is 32, this is X plus Y. Okay, so this is where it gets a little interesting. My hypotenuses, well, I have angle-angle similarity because I've got a right angle and then this acute angle that's congruent. So I'm going to write out all of my sides of the big triangle first. Let's go X plus Y, 60, and 32. And then in the smaller triangle, which side corresponds to the hypotenuse X plus Y? In the red triangle, what is the hypotenuse? 32. Okay, what side corresponds to 60? H. And what side corresponds to 32? X. Okay, we have a problem, right? What's the problem? In any case, if I try to cross multiply, how many variables would I have in every case? 2. I can't have 2 variables. So the trick to this, and you might not have seen it immediately, is to then right now I want to draw this. The what? Oh shoot! Yeah, I didn't even see that. Good call. Okay, Oni says x plus y is 68. Oh, Oni, thank you. You saved us a lot of time. Thank you. Okay, now good. Now we're good to go. If we want to find y, we can in a little bit once we find x, because we know x plus y equals 68. So I'm going to do a little bit of work right here. Cross multiply, find h. And then I would do the same thing right here. Cross multiply, find x. Let's do that calculation. Let's find h first. So 68 times h is equal to 60 times 32. Somebody help me out there. What's 60 times 32? Is it 2,000? No. 1940? 1920? Okay. 1920. 1920 is 68h. Could you divide that by 68, please? 28.24 exactly, or does it repeat? Okay, we'll stop there. That's good. Thank you. Okay, now let's find x. So 68 times x equals 32 times 32. 32 times 32 is 1024. Okay, 1024 divided by 68. Yuck. Okay, so then y, remember that x plus y equals 68. So we would plug in. So then what we would do is we'd take this 15.06, plug it in for x, subtract that from 68, and we'd get y. That's an involved problem, you guys. That's